ladies and gentlemen, there's no end to capital flashpoints. The governance has been hijacked by the continuous political slugfest between the stakeholders of the capital. Now, with the Gujarat polls approaching, the fight has only intensified back home. This time, it's over the Delhi government's flagship anti-pollution campaign, Red Light On, Gaddi Off. A campaign that aims to encourage drivers to turn off the ignition of their vehicles for the traffic signal to turn green. As per RTI, the Delhi government hired 2,500 civil defense volunteers last year and spent at least 10.46 crore rupees in ads as per this RTI reply. Today, Aadmi Party minister claimed that the LG has once again stalled the drive by not clearing the file. Gopal Rai says that the LG has the time to write letters to Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal every day, but doesn't have time to sign crucial files that have something to do with reducing pollution in the capital. Listen.
इस साल हमने 28 तारीख से यानी कल से रेड लाइट ऑन गाड़ी ऑफ कैंपेन को शुरू करने का सरकार ने निर्णय लिया था, मुख्यमंत्री जी ने निर्देश दिया था। लेकिन आज आपको दुर्भाग्य बस इस बात को हमें सूचित करना पड़ रहा है कि 21 तारीख को मुख्यमंत्री जी ने एलजी साहब को इसकी फाइल भेजी। कल से कैंपेन शुरू करना है, लेकिन अभी तक दिल्ली के लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर उस फाइल को रोक के बैठे हुए हैं और आज हम इस स्थिति में खड़े हैं कि कल से रेड लाइट ऑन गाड़ी ऑफ कैंपेन शुरू करना है और अभी तक वो फाइल दबा करके बैठे हुए हैं।
This is not all. There is a political face-off over Aam Aadmi Party's yoga program as well. Team Kejriwal has given a stern warning to those trying to discontinue the Delhi Ki Yogshala program. The Aam Aadmi Party maintains that BJP is putting pressure on officials to scrap the campaign and that the LG is sitting on the file. Listen in to what Arvind Kejriwal, Chief Minister of Delhi, said yesterday on this program.
हमने दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए योगा क्लासेस शुरू की। 17,000 लोग उन योगा क्लासेस के अंदर अटेंड कर रहे हैं। 17,000 लोग डेली सुबह शाम योगा करते हैं और उनके स्वास्थ्य को लाभ हो रहा है। इन्होंने दिल्ली की योगा क्लासेस बंद करा दी। 1 नवंबर से इन्होंने अफसरों के ऊपर दबाव डाल के अफसरों को सस्पेंड कर देंगे, ये कर देंगे, धमकियां दी इन्होंने और योगा क्लासेस बंद करा दी इन्होंने। पर मैं दिल्ली के लोगों को भरोसा दिलाना चाहता हूं, किसी भी हालत में केजरीवाल को किसी हद तक जाना पड़े, केजरीवाल को कुछ भी करना पड़े, तुम्हारी योगा क्लासेस बंद नहीं होने दूंगा। मैं खड़ा हूं तुम्हारे। ये लोग दिल्ली को तबाह करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन जब तक केजरीवाल जिंदा है तब तक तुम्हारा बेटा जो है दिल्ली को तबाह नहीं होने देगा।
But what's the truth behind Kejriwal's allegations? According to sources from the LG's office, the file was sent for approval only on October 27, that is yesterday, and the perusal of the file will take time. Similarly, the file relating to red light on, Gaddi off was actually sent on the 21st of October, last Friday, just ahead of the Diwali holidays in the national capital. Can Arvind Kejriwal and company ignore that over 50% of posts at the Delhi Pollution Control Board are still vacant when they are in a hurry to get this file back? Ahead of the NCD and Gujarat polls, the blame game is only heating up. And not to forget, on one hand, Arvind Kejriwal wants Bhagwan on currency notes. On the other, the government records states that Delhi government gave over 100 crore to WAQF in the last 7 years, something that has been tweeted by the BJP, another flashpoint that is developing. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the legitimate question on the News Hour tonight. Jhoot ki ladai, is it really hurting governance? Where do the common people go? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining me on the debate, Shazia Ilmi, national spokesperson of the BJP, Ratan Sharda, author, Sujata Pandey, political analyst, Professor D.K. Giri, political analyst, Lokesh Jindal, leader of the Congress party. But my first question goes to Mr. Ravi Srivastava, political analyst. Ravi Srivastava ji, I want to ask you, the scheme, red light on and Gadi off, according to the letter that has been written by Mr. Gopal Rai, shows that the scheme is only expected to begin on the 31st. In fact, that's written in the clearance note that he's written to the LG. So why is there so much tamasha way ahead of the deadline, saying कि उन्होंने तो करने नहीं दिया, अरे आपको तो 31 तारीख को लॉन्च करना है, and it's not even a new scheme. It is a scheme that was there last year as well. So why not send it in advance and get approvals on time? Why blame pollution on the LG's office?
Navika, I think the public of Delhi understands it. They are suffering because of this high pollution, and there are several ways those crackers which opposed by BJP, and with the vengeance they busted the crackers, and this scheme of vehicular pollution by stopping it on the signals, or industrial pollution, or construction, or parali, whatever it is. I mean, there are host of factors, but Arvind Kejriwal has been trying to stop it, to control it, and he got the results as well. The pollution levels were relatively less in last 4 years this Diwali in Delhi. And I think this skirmishes between the LG and Aam Aadmi party government has been going on for last several years. I think since the government came in, whether it was Mr. Najib Jang or whether it is Mr. Saxena or whether in between someone else, there's always the drama going on, the struggle, the power tussle, that who is stronger, who will not approve the vacancies, who will not approve the projects and the plans of the Delhi government. This is nothing unusual. This conflict could have been avoided had there been proper hand-holding by the governor's office and do the job. You know, people can see, but they are creating an optics today. The public of Delhi is seeing that our files are not getting through, the things are not getting approved, and they are finding that the things are stuck up, and because of that they are suffering.
I don't think Mr. Ravi Srivastava, stopping Parali fires from burning is stuck in the LG's office. You could have stopped it, but the truth is that it's 20% over last year's level. Also, let me tell you, when you talk about vehicular pollution, this is a scheme from last year. Why wait till now? Last year it was implemented on the 18th of October. This year the file has gone on the 21st of October. And Shazia Ilmi, I want to ask you, the question is also about the confrontation between the LG's office and the Chief Minister's office, which continues unabated and actually gives a headache to the people of Delhi. But the question is also about the fibbing of facts. The statement on yoga being stopped comes on the 26th, ke ye band karwa rahe hain, but the file reaches the LG's office on 27th. And similar is the situation on the vehicular pollution scheme. Shazia Ilmi, once again, one-upmanship.
So as far as as far as fibbing is concerned and hoodwinking people and just telling lies, Arvind Kejriwal is the expert, and this is standard playbook of Aam Aadmi party. But the question that you asked was about 187 posts being vacant out of 344, which is the DPCC. The question that you asked was money being sent and given to the WAQF board. I would raise, and not to any other body, and not even being paid to the Safai Karamcharis of the MDC, of the municipal boards. But my question is about to Arvind Kejriwal is whether it's Najib Jang or Anil Baijal ji and now Mr. Saxena, the same drama continues. And I want to tell him, if you tell a lie too many times, nobody believes this. It's like a cry wolf story. You keep crying wolf, and after some time you know that nobody believes it anymore. So, you know, you blame the LG sometimes, you blame the central government sometimes, you blame the ED sometimes, and you blame the CBI sometimes, and you blame the Election Commission sometimes, and you blame everyone else, but do not look at your complete lack of administration and corruption that has really become to shadow the entire model of governance that they wanted to provide. Now, because Mr. Saxena has ordered the inquiry of liquor scam that has happened, and to a huge tune of crores having been lost to the public exchequer at a time when Delhi could have done with more revenue for its people, the fact of the matter is that now this LG also must be blamed, which is why the fibbing, which is all too clear that the file is sent much later, but a story is made about it earlier. Now, coming to the WAQF board. Now, whether it's a Banya card or poor Ashutosh being converted from Ashutosh to Ashutosh Gupta, or Atishi Marlena from Marx and Lenin Marlena to Atishi Singh and Rajput, and of course Arvind also talking about his own credentials of being a Banya. Then thirdly and most importantly, when it's election in Okhla, it's Okhla. It is about WAQF board. Yeah, it is. It is about duplicity and WAQF board. Yeah, it is. But let me finish. It is a subject. I'll tell you why. If you let me finish, I'll let you. Do not get nervous. Do not get nervous, sir, because you don't have an answer.
How does it affect?
Because you are lying again. No, sir. So I have to tell you, because under the Representation of People's Act, no. You will not filibuster me. If I can be allowed, Navika, to finish my point. Navika, if I may be allowed to, I will take Atishi's name, I will take Ashutosh's name, I will take Kejriwal's name, I will take all of the names, because this is what they did in the elections. Because this is exactly what he's doing in the Gujarat elections. We're talking about Goddess Lakshmi being on currency notes. I'll tell you, only if you tell me, if you allow me to finish.
You can run in
Navika, I'll tell you. Could you be quiet?
Ravi Srivastava ji, LG को छोड़िए, आप तो शादिया जी से भी लड़ने लग गए. यहाँ भी पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ कॉन्फ्रंटेशन शुरू हो गई है. 1 minute, Ravi Srivastava.
अरे इश्यू तो बोलने दीजिए, इश्यू तो बताने दीजिए.
Ravi,
I have to finish your point. I will not allow this man to finish.
Ravi Srivastava, hold on the issue. She's talking about the issue that was raised by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Ganesh Lakshmi on notes. It is the issue raised by Mr. Kejriwal. Why can't you allow her to talk about that?
Atishi is the issue. No, Atishi is the issue. Ashutosh is the issue.
Shouting.
What is this?
And out of nervousness.
Come on the subject,
and let me finish. I'll tell you, no? Okay, can I tell now? Subject being Arvind Kejriwal using religion to get political gains, using caste and religion, and constantly flip-flopping and behaving like a chameleon. Whether it's a Banya card or Atishi's Rajput card or Ashutosh's name being converted to Ashutosh Gupta and himself talking about his Banya credentials, or getting support from Khalistan supporters in Punjab and talking about Christians in Goa, to now using Goddess Lakshmi's name and using people's feelings, religious devotion for electoral gains, and therefore trivializing and mocking the Hindu believers. But the same
none of that actually impacts governance. Shazia, let's not get derailed. While you've raised that question, I want to raise the question of governance. Ravi Srivastava, hold on. I want to raise the question of governance. I don't have a problem. Anybody can play the Hindu card. It's nobody's fiefdom. But if you are playing the Hindu card, why are you offering and why are you writing? 1 minute, Shazia. 1 minute, Shazia. Why is the Aam Aadmi Party writing to the Prime Minister for Lakshmi Ganesh on notes? Why don't you do what is within your
that's the point.
Within your right to do, which is cleaning up of the Yamuna? Because Yamuna, Chhat and festivals, Hindu festivals, have something to do with Yamuna. And I want to refresh your memory and of my viewers, when I spoke with Arvind Kejriwal just same time last year, what he said about the Yamuna. I'll play that out before I get in Professor Giri.
यमुना का जो पानी है उसमें फोम नजर आ रही है, लोग डुबकी ले रहे हैं, हैजार्डस पॉइजनस अमोनिया वाला पानी है. अब वो किसकी गलती है?
नविका जी, यमुना मेरी जिम्मेदारी है. मैं पिछले 3-4 दिन से देख रहा हूँ बहुत आरोप प्रत्यारोप चल रहे हैं भी। वो कह रहे हैं ये नहीं कर रहे हो। यमुना में चाहे हरियाणा से आ रहा है, चाहे यूपी से आ रहा है, चाहे कहीं से आ रहा है, यमुना को साफ करने की जिम्मेदारी मेरी है। आई विल नॉट पास ब्लेम टू एनीवन। ये 70 साल की प्रॉब्लम है, ये 2 दिन की प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। चुनाव के वक्त मैंने दिल्ली के लोगों से 5 साल मांगे थे। मैंने कहा अगले चुनाव में मैं खुद डुबकी लगाऊंगा यमुना के अंदर, आप सब लोगों को साफ पानी में डुबकी लगवा दूंगा, नहीं तो वोट मत देना मेरे को।
So Professor Giri, Yamuna, the Chief Minister himself agreed that he will never pass the buck. He will be responsible for cleaning the Yamuna. Now, whether it is governance or whether it is religion or appeasement, I don't care. But the Yamuna is still not clean. And people this year also are, having to go into the waters that are full of froth chemicals that are being used to remove that froth and all kinds of toxins. Where does that leave the Hindu card that is being played with Ganesh Lakshmi, which is not even in his, adhikar kshetra mein hai bhi nahi?
Navika, you began the debate by nicely putting, where do the common men go? When government is in paralysis because of the confrontation between two parties, where do the common people go? I'll share another disappointing and crippling dilemma with you. I was in Europe day before yesterday, and I was talking to friends, and they said that diplomats do not want a in Delhi because they don't want to go to that city which is highly polluted, and they don't want to expose their family and children to such a polluted city. Now, is this a reflection on Kejriwal or BJP or on all of us? That is another question. So when I hear the political party spokespersons, they seem like they are in a mortal combat, not in a democratic politics. They don't want to see any opposition or any other party. They are grotesque and absolutely incomprehensible for them. The question is, Delhi has to be administered jointly. I have been saying it is a half state. It is not a full state. Responsibility is common. You rightly pointed out to Kejriwal, why has not Yamuna been cleaned? So even like the governor, and the governors are behaving in a funniest manner in the history of Indian politics. Look at the Kerala governor, Bihar governor and Delhi governor. You see, they are outdoing their constitutional role and they are meddling in politics. Bihar governor is saying, you expect an atom bomb from my office. What is this language? Political atom bomb. I read in the paper today. You see? So what kind of democratic...
No, but in this case, let's come to the specifics. Let's come to the specifics of this case.
I am coming to the specifics.
1 minute. Allow me to tell you the dates. They created a shindy saying that yoga classes have been stopped when the file has reached yesterday, and the statement saying that it has been stopped came on the 26th of October, day before yesterday. Now, who is responsible for these lies? Who is? Answer this one.
Correct. Navika, I will answer this. Navika, BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, to me, are Tweedledum and Tweedledee. You see, Sajia Almi talked about Ulf's story. I'll tell her about Goebel's truth. You repeat a lie many times, that becomes truth. So both the parties are in, they are par excellence in brinkmanship, political brinkmanship. And BJP has found a match in Arvind Kejriwal in doing whatever BJP does. So in fact, the people should be enjoying this.
No, but okay. So again the specifics. I would go with you completely, but on the specifics, I want to get in Mr. Ratan Sharda. Mr. Ratan Sharda, vehicular traffic pollution. Now, this scheme of red light on, gaddi off, last year started on the 18th of October. This year, on the eve of Diwali, the file is sent, which is on the 21st, and the file itself says that the scheme will start on the 31st, yet they go ahead and blame the LG for delaying the file. Number one. Number two, Parali incidents. 20% up are the Parali fires. For this, they don't need the support of the center. Let's assume that the BJP is playing politics. But for parali burning, they don't need to really depend on the BJP. In Punjab, they can take care of the parali burning themselves. And they are ruling both Delhi and Punjab. What is the excuse here?
Well, actually, earlier I used to call him one of the most scientifically produced lab chameleon in the political world of India. Today I'll call him the most nimble-footed acrobat in the politics. He jumps from issue to issue, never sticks to any one issue. That is Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. His claim on Yamuna is as flaky as the foam on Yamuna. Because, in fact, his promise of clean Yamuna would die before the actual foam on the Yamuna dies. That is the person. And if he's so, why he's always in the confrontation mode? Sheila Dikshit ruled Delhi for years together without any confrontation. She's still considered the best CM. Did she have any confrontation? No. If he feels for last 3 terms he's not being supported by the government and the state government power is 0, he should resign. After all, he is not running after politics. उसने सिर पे हाथ रख के बच्चों का कहा था कि मैं पॉलिटिक्स में नहीं जाऊंगा. उसने सिर पे हाथ रख के बच्चों को कहा था मैं कांग्रेस से अलायंस नहीं करूंगा. सब किया. Now coming to his yoga volunteers, if I remember correctly, yoga gimmick on the advertisements began about a year back or many months back. आप घर में बुलाइए जी, हमको योगा टीचर देंगे, आपके पार्क में योगा सिखाएंगे जी. When he started saying all the GG, where was the permission from the Lieutenant Governor? Did he start the campaign without asking the governor? He actually spent 7 lakhs on parallel experiment, and he spent 9 crores on publicizing his parallel solution, and it was never taken to Punjab. His own government for last 6 months, nothing done. So what is his policy? I want to know. He talked about education model. Teachers have not been paid. Out of education policy, major number of schools, out of 1027, 745 do not have science and commerce as a course. This is the school is running. His schools are decrepit. His schools are in horrible condition. In 2020, he promised 2/3 restriction in pollution level. Why did he say that he has no power? He has power over industrial pollution. He has power over vehicle pollution. He has power over construction pollution. He has power over parali burning now. The only area he doesn't have power is Yamuna not being taking birth in Delhi. That would also become polluted because we see the way sewage is going down in the river. We see every day that is happening. Dirt going to river. What is it doing? I do not know. All his promise are fake. The first manipulation of the media started, if you remember correctly, in Punya Prasoon Vajpayee's Bahut Krantikari interview. That is the beginning of this great man's journey, and that is where we will go, Bahut Krantikari, down the train of this Delhi politics.
Well, Ravi Srivastav, you want to respond to that?
Jal board owes 26,000. He can make 100 of stories. What he said.
And this
what he said in. Come on now.
Budget.
Hey, come on.
20,000 crores are Jal board
don't talk the baseless stories. You have no evidence. Don't talk the baseless stories, please. Now it is my turn.
I will show you the evidence.
See,
today there is a story
that he
of clean Delhi. Just a moment.
Sir, the evidence is here, sir. Ravi Srivastav ji, the evidence is here. This is the letter of Gopal Rai, and it says 31st of October. Where is the evidence on the purchase of MLAs? That was the allegation. Where is that evidence?
About pollution since Diwali is of August 2022.
What?
He is a manufacturer. Highest kind. This photo shown by the government
3 days
is not Diwali, it is August 2022.
1 minute, Ratan Sharda ji. 1 minute, Ratan Sharda ji.
What is wrong in it? What is wrong in it?
What is wrong in?
What is wrong in it? I'm saying 3 days here, 3 days there. What is this?
Oh, 3 days here and 3 days there. Nothing wrong in it. Nothing wrong in 3 days here or 3 days there. Shazia Ilmi, matlab the file comes after the chess meeting on the scheme being stopped. But Ravi Srivastav's explanation is there is no harm in dates being 3 days here or 3 days there. तो 3 दिन बाद आ जाएगी फाइल. आप क्यों उछल रहे?
No, Aam Aadmi Party is being frustrated.
Navika, if the CJI of this country can sit on a Saturday and work,
being brazen about it.
LG work on holiday?
before.
And this is only to now villainize the LG and blame the various LGs who have been there, with all of whom he's had a problem. It's only later, and it's because Mr. Saxena clearly ordered the inquiry. And I wonder why Mr. Baijal did not do anything about it and how he was complicit in the signing of the master plan, where these major changes in favor of liquor mafia happened. So Ravi Srivastava also looking for the liquor mafia, just like Aam Aadmi Party is. This party is for the liquor mafia and the liquor barons, and to throw people of Delhi in the
One minute, gentlemen.
So that nobody can point out. And he subsidizes.
1 minute, gentlemen. Allow me to come in. 1 minute. Let me get order. Let me get order into this panel. I don't know what are you objecting about. When specifics have no meaning for you, Mr. Ravi Srivastava. And Lokesh Jindal, if they come out and make a statement that a scheme has been stopped and send the file for clearance only 3 days later, they say, 3 din idhar ya udhar, it should not be questioned. Do facts not matter? Number one. Number two, Mr. Ravi Srivastava's argument is, so what if it's a Diwali vacation? You can always work on a Saturday and you can clear the files. Then should we not ask the question, Kanhaiya Kumar's file was not cleared for 2 years. Why do people not work in the government of Delhi? That question can be asked. But the question at the base of all this, Lokesh Jindal, is who is suffering because of all of this confrontation?
Certainly. In fact, right from the beginning, Kejriwal's government has been a complete failure. Whether it is the odd-even scheme, whether it is the COVID times, the complete failure, whether it is Desh Ka Mentor scheme, where it was failure in installing the Lokayuk, the very issue on which the government came, and then more than 500 schools they have promised, but the CVC report of 2000 has revealed that whereas only around 4,000 classrooms were made, but the payment for more than 7,000 classrooms were made. It's one of the biggest scams that will be unearthed in time to come. And then liquor policy, the entire nation knows how the Kejriwal government fooled the entire system. There were financial misconduct as well as procedural lapses. Further, a government which was criticized for hitting the chief secretary at the bungalow of the chief minister itself. How can you expect such a government to function along with the administration? Yes, it's true. None of the bureaucrats wants to come to Delhi. None of the ambassadors, they want to come to Delhi because Delhi is not livable. What is he talking about? Having God's photographs on the notes when the liquor shops were built, when the liquor license was given outside temples? Now, such a person with such form of hypocrisy, if it talks about code of conduct, ethics, morality, it is something which is shameful, and Aam Aadmi Party has no, I would say, if it has a little bit of shame, it should stop speaking and start delivering first. And all these forms of jumla, red light on, engine off, odd even scheme, uske baad mein Desh Ka Mentor scheme,
very uncharitable. Very uncharitable, Navika.
What is uncharitable? Professor Giri, what is uncharitable? This is coming from the former alliance partner of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. How is it uncharitable?
Well, former alliance partner, former leading member of Arvind Kejriwal like Sajia Ilmi. But you see, these people have no respect for the people's mandate. Kejriwal has been elected thrice. He, out of 70 seats, he has won 67 and BJP 3. That itself is an endorsement of his policies.
So,
it is a democracy. What matters is people's mandate, not what people say in the past.
144 crore waiver to liquor companies?
No, hold on, Sajia.
To defaulters, what language? Language, you talk about language? What is the language that Kejriwal used? What is the language that Kejriwal used? How dare you talk about language? He has called our Prime Minister a psychopath. His language is most abusive. He has made allegations against senior leaders and then taken them back. What are you saying? Language? Language is the least. If somebody who's made the language really filthy, Kejriwal's contribution is the biggest in deteriorating the language.
Today,
what are you saying? No,
Professor Giri, 1 minute, Professor Giri, yes, mandate should be respected, then the mandate of the Prime Minister should also be respected. Point number one. Point number two, when you say something, it has to be related to facts. I'm asking you on the question of facts. The Aam Aadmi Party has left a lot of gap between facts and actually what they say. And I want to ask you, they've learnt it the hard way. In courts, they've had to face defamation cases and they've had to apologize. And in this case, there are more lies that have come out. And Sujata Pandey, I want to ask you, when they come out and make such non-facts as part of just everyday's conversation, how much can you actually fight the lies that are said, and who is responsible for them? For example, in this case, the dates that have been fudged. In other cases, pollution kam ho gayi hai when the Parali burning cases are more than last year. I want to ask you, where does the buck stop, and when do we begin to talk about governance for the real Aam Aadmi, the people, the citizens of.
So two things, Navika. First is that I think what is happening in AAP can be summarized with these two lines, and with your permission, if I can say, देख के शर्मिंदा है गिरगिट भी फन आपका, देख के शर्मिंदा है गिरगिट भी फन आपका, नादान खुद को शाहे शातिर समझता था. This is the entire, if you see Kejriwal, who desired to become a seasoned politician like Narendra Modi, has actually become a seasonal politician, because for every state, for every election, he's got different stance. In Delhi, it's about development card. He goes to Punjab, he becomes Rashtravadi. He goes to Gujarat, he becomes Krishna Avatar, and he talks about Hindutva card. Then he, in the MCD election, he also becomes Jadugar, and he says, मैं ये सारे कूड़े के पहाड़ जो है वो गायब कर दूंगा. लेकिन खुद गायब हो जाते हैं जब पूछते हैं कि भाई 2015 में आपने जो डुबकी लगाने का वादा किया था वो कहाँ गया, वो कब डुबकी लगाएंगे. तो वो बोलते भाई जाग, अभी हमारे पास है जी, टाइम है जी, हमें तो अभी तो 2015 बोला था, अभी कर लेंगे जी. तो केजरीवाल has been a spreadsheet of lies, and there are documented. Someone in the panelists was saying that, this is LG is crossing his limits. No, I think you should read the entire GNCT Act and what happened, in 23(9) AA, where the roles of the LG is very much defined. So LG has all the power to see what's happening in Delhi. So Delhi ka Raja कहते खुद को Delhi का राजा मत समझ लीजिए. Secondly, Navika, you mentioned about that none of this affects governance. Well, what Shaja was asking, but I beg to differ on this one, because as a CM, your agenda, your intent, your character, your lies, and your political intent definitely affects the governance, and this is what is happening in Delhi. Delhi models, they are not even able to explain and give name of 5 which they claim as an award-winning program. Not even one mohalla clinic where you could go and get injection. So I don't know what models they talk about, and then now they have come to the fight between Delhi, between the LG and themselves. But this is not new. This has started way back, when with the appointment of the LG itself on the purchase of the buses. But the fact of the matter is, and I want to put this out, Delhi votes for him again and again and again, and Shazia, he wins elections. And that's the point Professor Giri is raising. How do you respond to that?
Well, by the same logic, our Prime Minister wins all the elections, and more than ever before, and see the huge footprint of Bharatiya Janata Party. Yet it doesn't stop Mr. D.K. Giri from blaming the Prime Minister and speaking ill of him, and also making up stories and resorting to rhetoric. But coming back to the point, he does win elections, and I will not dispute that. Let's be very honest about it. Because with the middle class taxpayers of Delhi are subsidizing Kejriwal's politics. D.K. Giriji, the question was to me, let me finish. One sentence. Last sentence. Show some manners, sir. Show some manners. No, sir. Again, it's all bluster. It's all gas, sir. It doesn't matter. It's like helium. volume. It goes up. No, I want to ask you, Mr. D.K. Giri. Tell me, you and I who live in Delhi, who pay the taxes, are subsidizing Kejriwal's victory and his politics because he is the Jal Nigam right now is facing huge losses. The tanker mafia reigns, yet water is free for Arvind's constituency. So you and me, I don't know whether you live in Delhi, but all taxpayers of Delhi are subsidizing Arvind's victory. Let me tell you, and people don't know this, but the areas, he said the electricity and water, these three means, the reveries,
1 minute, let me get in, Mr. Ratan Sharda. Mr. Ratan Sharda, you know, the question here is that you talk about yoga, you talk about yoga, you talk about pollution. The question is diverted towards Ganesh and Lakshmi on notes. That's not going to solve the problems that Delhi is facing. That will not create, a cleaner air for people to breathe. Children who are suffering from asthma and bronchitis, and everybody who has watering eyes because their eyes are burning in Delhi, it doesn't solve. So why are we seeing a spate of diversionary tactics when it comes to politics of Delhi?
See, I've already said that when he sees that his issue doesn't work, he jumps to another issue, then it comes to third issue. For every state, when he goes, he has to create a new argument. Mr. Srivastava is talking about, wrong data and foolish data and all that. On August 22, there was an RTF which said that out of 7 hospitals promised by Arvind Kejriwal, not one hospital was constructed nor released. I showed a photograph on your screen, which was the clean post-Diwali Thola photo. It was not post-Diwali photograph. It was August 22 photograph with a statement of Lieutenant Governor about the traffic on Thola Kuan. This is the kind of lie they spread. That's why I'm saying this person has no compunctions. He is a politician who has no compunction. Remember 370 pages of charge sheet against Sheila Dikshit? Where did it go? Did he go to Lieutenant Governor कि साहब मुझे इनको prosecute करना है, मैं करूंगा जी prosecute? Nothing happened. So this fellow is full of bluster, full of lies, full of unkept promises. So he has to move to new ground because the earlier ground slips away from under him. That is the issue. आप चिल्लाइए कुछ भी करिए Professor Giri. You can keep on protesting. I don't know whether you're for or against. I do not at all. But I have put facts against in front of you. Can you challenge the facts? Please tell me. Jalbot under that. Can you challenge it?
I'm not. I'm
for the country.
Fair point. I only want to ask Ravi Srivastava one question in the end. Ravi Srivastava, the promise was that the Aam Aadmi party would be different from other political parties. It would promise to the people and it would deliver to the people. It would not play caste politics, religious politics. It would only talk about amenities for the people and deliver them to them. What happened? Kya hua?
Politics happened.
It is a different party. It is a different party. That is why it is opposed by everyone. It is a different party. That is why it delivers to the people and people vote for it. It is a different party because it does not believe in the politics of religion, the so-called Hindu-Muslim polarization and this photo and that photo.
And Lakshmi Ganesh kya hai? And Lakshmi Ganesh kya hai? Religion se kuch lena dena nahi hai Lakshmi Ganesh ka.
You know what a laughing stock.
I want to reply.
Lakshmi Ganesh kuch nahi hai. Sujata Pandey, last word to you. I mean this one, the legitimate question I asked was jhoot ki politics. Now this one takes the cake. It gets the Oscar when he says Lakshmi Ganesh bhi religion se kuch lena dena nahi hai.
Absolutely. I think Delhi model, I don't know about education and health, but it can go for theatrics, to the Oscars. Because, the way the reinvent themselves, कोई भगत सिंह की औलाद बन जाता है तो कोई महाराणा प्रताप की, कोई तुरंत कृष्ण बन जाता है तो तुरंत sometimes you become Mahatma. Even Bhagwan is confused, Navika, that who they are. I think, for Delhi people, I really feel sorry. I think तमन्ना थी कि दिल की जिंदगी रंग बिरंगी हो और दस्तूर देखिए जो मिले गिरगिट ही मिले. So it's like this, whichever whatever they say, nothing has been fulfilled. And to answer your question, why every time, certain statements are given, or he does a PC and he talks something out of context. I think his entire agenda is to be in limelight, to how to create controversies and divert attention from the fact
isn't that true for all political parties? Now you can't hold that against him. Everybody wants to be in the limelight.
But saying things, Navika, comparing Indonesia with India, where you don't know that in Indonesia the idols and the deities are used as a cultural symbol and a heritage. Here we use them as, we look at them as our faith and religion, and it's not government of India, it's not Modi ji who's chapifying the notes in his house, it's the RBI who's doing it. So you are actually, which IRS officer you were, in any way, income tax has clarified that he never, held the post of the income tax office commissioner or something. But I really want to see that, before Lakshmi and Ganesh,
the question really is, in all of this confrontation, somewhere the governance really suffers, and that clearly means that citizens suffer. Now, is that a model of politics that is sustainable? That's the question we are asking. Thanking all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1. Ladies